Hello, this is Lolly, and I am back to work on the next segment in our December daily for this year. The first one, I introduced the set, which is still available in my shop. I think I only have maybe 3 left, so you better jump on that really quickly. And then the next one was prepping these envelopes. So now what we're going to do, we have the envelope template, which if you've printed yours out as the free download and you printed it out actual size, you cut both of them out and glue them together to make a nice strong template for yours. Now do test it against your envelopes to make sure it's going to fit the way you want it to, and if not, just snip off what you need. And then for this section here, to mat this, assuming you are going to decorate your fronts, you can also decorate the back, totally up to you. For this section here, if I measure mine, I'm seeing that I would want about 5.5 inches wide because I want a little bit of white around it. Now, this is the tricky part. It's up to you. I'm going to give you all your options here. If you want just to go from this line and then up to here, leaving a little white border, it's about 2.5. So 5.5 by 2.5. But you can go a little bit over this band if you want. So you could go all the way to 3 inches wide. Again, that is totally up to you. And if you want to decorate the backs, it's up to you. I think for the sake of video, we're just going to work on decorating our front panels here and here. And I think I'm going to do the 2.5 by 5.5 myself. So the other thing you need to figure out is orientation. We are going to be using book rings on ours. You could use chains. And I am going to orient mine this way. So all of my patterns will be going this way. It is perfectly okay to orient them this way, and so that your display will be like this, or you can orient it this way. So again, it's your choice. I'm doing it this way. So the first thing I want to do, actually the second one, because remember I held this aside for my front cover. The back cover I'm not worried about. So then, you know, there's 4 of each design, so we really got that covered really well. So one thing you could do is to go ahead and pull all of these off if you want to loosen them up. It'll make it a lot easier for you to flip through the patterns and see what you have. Let's do that off camera. I have taken mine off and they're nice and loose now. I am also setting one of these aside, one of these pages, because it has the numbers. So this will be my one to cut apart and use to number my days. We have all of these to play with, so we just get to go through and decorate each envelope. So I'm going to show you basically what that's going to look like. Because these are so big, we can do... we can cut this up and do the same paper for here and for here, or we can use the contrast for the back, you know, and for one of them, like this is one side and this is the other. Mix and match your papers as you want. The first thing I think I'm going to do is, and I want that Santa right here, so I'm going to cut from 5.5 inches up like that, and then I'm going to cut 2 3/4 inches in. And that is perfect. Let's see, I love that fit. It's great. Now we need a paper for here. And this is one of the ways it's great before you glue anything down is to look at what you think is going to look great. Now look at this. Doesn't that look great just to carry the same paper over? But we know that we need to use this template. So if we line this up like that, I've got to figure out where I want that to go. Okay, and I'm going to mark that. Okay, now when I cut this, I'm going to cut just inside those pencil lines, or it ends up being a little larger than I want. So I'm saving that. So now we have something that looks like it's made to be all one image straight across. But again, we don't have to do that. We could use contrasting papers. I have my Barely Art glue out. Now, you don't have to do this with the little white mat around that, but that's what I prefer. Okay, now you could call that done, or you could turn it over and decorate the back, or you can also embellish the front. Now, one of the things I love are these glitter dot stickers. Now, I still have some of these in my shop. You used to be able to get them from Elizabeth Craft, but they don't carry them anymore. And what I love about these is they look like you have glued gemstones on there, when in reality, they are flat stickers with the appearance of dimension. They're very small, so I like to just kind of get it on my little pokey tool there and figure out where I'm going. Love it all. They just really add sparkle and excitement to the project, especially if you're accenting a specific area here. So I still have some of these in various colors in my shop. So another thing that you can do besides that, my personal choice is I'm going to go with flat embellishments. This is going to be a really thick, a chunky monkey when we're done with it, and I want to make sure that I don't make it too thick. So any really thick embellishments I have, if any, may go on the front of the cover. So another thing that's flat enough for me would be some rickrack. I like this. And this, frankly, is one of the reasons why I decided I didn't want to overlap my cardstock onto over this binding strip there. But these two simple little additions there really make it perk up. Now, I would love to have some silver rickrack. I do have this vintage white with silver in it, and I got that from a thrift store long ago. And I also want to show you that you could put that rickrack right on the edge of that flap as well, meaning right here, or you could put it underneath, so just the little teeth are sticking through, and that's what I think I'm going to do. So I haven't done anything about that glue strip there. If you don't like that glue strip there, feel free to cover that up with some cardstock. Because, you know, if you live in a high moist area, then I would suggest you do cover that up, because over time it could get kind of moistened and activate and seal your envelopes shut, and you wouldn't want that to happen. Now with rickrack, when I'm putting it in the back, I like to look and make sure the teeth that I call them look even. Now that's very cute. I like that. Very simple, very effective. And then remember I said I'm going to be doing 2 days on each of my envelopes. So that's what I'm going to do now, is remove this. The other thing I want is to look through my ephemera. There are many little pieces here. Like this is very cute. Add some little dimension right there, or save that and put it on the back like this is what I think I'm going to do. And I know I tend to get a little more off camera now that I'm using this setup I have of this elevated slanted desktop. For those of you who've been wondering, I am using a slanted desktop temporarily while I get my neck healed up from my car accident. So what I am finding is that I finally had to switch chiropractors. I was going to the same chiropractor and I just wasn't getting any better. I switched chiropractors, and what a difference that's making. Plus, he's doing traction on my neck, and I just think that's helping a lot. And I just had some injections put in my neck from the doctor yesterday. There we go. And you could do rickrack here, but I think it's kind of overkill with having rickrack on the back. Let's move on. I've got my first one right where I want it. And the beauty of this is I can still come back and add to it later if I want. This one, let's get our paper back out here again. Generally on these, the front page is busier and the back page is a pattern instead of images. That is so adorable. And he would need to be his own separate flap as well. I think that's really great. But I think this time let's do this. This is the snowman, very cute. So again, I'm going to do 5.5 up. And I saved that cute little peppermint stripe border down at the bottom there. That is so adorable. 2.5 in. Okay, now I'm going to use the contrasting paper on this one, but what I think I'm going to do is trace it from the front because this part is nice and light and I can see my pencil marks a lot more better here as opposed to doing it on the red. And I don't have to worry about the pencil marks, but I'm still going to go inside of them because it will be too big if I go outside the pencil marks. I think that is going to be really cute. And now that I'm using this flap, I think it's going to be a great foundation for adding ephemera pieces to it. And as I always say, do your own choice. So that music card, look at the back of this. Is this adorable or what? I love the snowman here. Now there's a big one there. I could bring that in. I could hang it off the edge. I love this candy cane thing. But let's also go and look directly at the ephemera. In my ephemera, I also put the little strips that I cut off. So you'll see that as we're working through this. We do have that tree, this would be a great place to put that now. Okay, we have a couple of cards. Ooh, I really love that tree as well. But I like the contrast there. Okay, how about the tree? And I'm going to bring this gift a little bit off the edge there. Oops, I didn't mean to get glue on that edge there. So this is going off the edge. Perfectly okay to do that. Now, making spirits bright, that is very cute. Let's get that going here. Now, this is not a gold foiled sentiment, but you could take your gold marker and you could like edge it. Just do a little gold right on the edge of that. That would be really cute. I could tell right now I need one of those dots right there. Give it a little oomph there. And another thing I'm thinking of, here, look at this itty bitty sliver of that right there. Does that help to coordinate it and bring it all together? I think so. Now, this is 3 and 4. So let's get those days cut out. Another thing I'm thinking I might want to do from now on is hold off on putting these on there because I want to see what ephemera is left over. These parts here demand more ephemera and more attention to ephemera, and they get first dibs. So I'm going to wait and see what ephemera is left over for me to put ephemera on the back. So for now on, I'm just going to work on doing these like this. I like the way that is sticking out there. I think that is really giving it a little extra oomph there. So there's 2. Let's do another one. And I'm going to reverse this and make this just a basic pattern and this the busy area. I really like this music there. We need to use these gingerbread men. Oh, this is so hard. This is really hard because I like both of these, but I think together they're a little wild. So I think I'm going to do this. This is going to be my flap. Oh, that is so adorable. Okay, I know what I want to do with this one. It's going to be so cute. Okay, so let's get these glued down. Isn't it hard to cover up such cute paper? That's why I like that they gave us 4 of each design because I can work with that. You can also distress the edges of your cardstock if you want. There's a mug in here I need. Right there. That's really cute. Ah, how cute. Gingerbread wishes. think this is going to go over here, right there, and then I can use this little guy. But you know what? I feel like she's getting lost here. Maybe I don't use her at all. She really is cute, but I don't want to put eyelets on these because they would take up so much room and make it so thick. However, you can use hole reinforcers, you know, the dies that cut out hole reinforcers. I think I'm going to put this candy cane wishes on there. Right there, and make it sort of like a flap to turn. Now, I don't want to put too much glue on there. So let's do that right a little toward the top to balance that out there. Make sure it opens. I'm going to grab some of these and add them to this little mug thing there. I'm going to use the smaller ones. Oh, that just makes it come alive. So happy with that. You could also put it on the corners like they're almost like little rivets holding this on to the card. Ooh, so sweet. So this would be days 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. We've got 6 days covered right there. We will finish embellishing the backs later. Really loving this paper collection. But now that I'm looking at this, I've started a trend here of putting something here, and this is looking very stark to me. And let's just see right here above that. Yes, fine. That really perked it up. Okay, that makes it look a lot better, I think, just to give it some real oomph there. Okay, we will come back next time and we will get more of these done, because now that we're in a rhythm, we can get more of these done in one episode. Look underneath and I will give you a link to buy these two from my store, my online store, plus the other supplies and the kit, which is the ephemera and the paper pack. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you can give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button.